Hey, this is Southwind Hunting Adventures and I'm your host, Jared Lott. We're a preserve located in Live Oak, Florida. And this week we have Scott Sr., Scott Jr., and Miss Mary Ann down, and they have picked the absolute best week of the year to come down. It's rut, it's in the middle of the rut. The bucks are chasing, they're responding to the calls, they're responding to the rattling, they're responding to everything. So this is going to be an awesome week down here at Southwind Hunting Adventures.
Here's the rules. You just go ahead and put your rifle right here, and we'll go ahead and make sure you're on target at the short target. This thing, you shot for one of these before?
No. Right, I know what it does, right.
A little common sense there, right? Mm-hmm. So always just make sure you have the butt of your rifle right here, and we'll make sure you're lined up perfect and up and down on the target down there. But you set, you know how to shoot. You got him as a husband, him as a son. The competition is very hot. Go on with yourself, bad girl. All right, go ahead and put you right up there. We'll just get you one up there ready to go.
All right, so first things first. They've been riding for a few hours, and anytime you transport a weapon, it could get off. So we want to take every precaution necessary to make sure that when they pull the trigger, they're hitting exactly what they're aiming at. So we're going to take them to the range and make sure their guns are sighted in.
Fire in the hole. Go.
This episode is brought to you in part by Black Widow Deer Lure, Lethal Products, and Lou Gravity Feeders.
So why does Whitetail Edge use Black Widow deer lures? It's 100% pure whitetail deer urines. It's never brown or broken down. Black Widow deer lures are always fresh, collected and bottled within 24 hours of collection to guarantee freshness. So why should you use Black Widow deer lures? Because it works. Visit www.blackwidowdeerlures.com.
We're Kyle and Jared Lott of Smack TV.
Each week we go into millions of homes to show you great hunting.
And we couldn't do what we do without TC Outdoors doing what they do.
It doesn't matter if your adventure takes you fishing in the local pond or on a cross-country hunt.
TC Outdoors is going to be there for you with gear, know-how, and support, just like they are for us.
They've been here for years. We know them.
And we trust them.
So come by TC Outdoors on Northside Drive. Tell them Jared and Kyle sent you. Now for the tip of the week, brought to you by Dead End Game Calls.
Dead End Game Calls calling tip of the week. Have you ever had trouble clucking a purr on a mouth call, or maybe soft yelping on a mouth call? Well, maybe it's because you simply hadn't had the right call in your mouth to do so. We've designed a call that we call the Batwing 2. It's designed specifically for the soft calling, clucks and purrs, duets, and the plain yelps to finish off the weariest of old toms. Check out the sounds that we can get from the Roadkill Batwing 2.
All right, so we've got the guns all sighted in, and they decided that Scott Jr. is going to shoot first. We've loaded up. We're in one of the bigger blinds that we have here on this property. The whole family wanted to hunt together, and we have a blind that will accommodate that here. All right, so after some discussion and sitting here and watching this buck, we realized that he might be a buck that we need to take out. If he comes back in this field, we're possibly going to pull the trigger. But as we're sitting here discussing that, here comes a really, really, really good buck. So now we have a dilemma. Do we take out this nice trophy that they've come down here to shoot, or do we help the herd and take out a buck that needs to be taken out?
There comes a good buck.
Good job, buddy.
Good job, buddy. Hey, hey. Come on, baby. He can't get it on safety. He can't get it on safety. Baby, I have to shut mine first.
Just leave it open. Just leave it open.
Good job, baby. Are you okay, babe?
Yeah.
Happy? Mommy's happy.
I wasn't shaking at first, but after.
Scott, did you get it?
Yeah, I know he dropped in the bushes over there.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
How big is he?
It's a pretty big one.
You know how many points?
I know he had a bunch of points on top and he had a bunch of drop downs.
Oh, he did. That's good. That's good. Is he in the food plot?
No, he ran over in the grass.
Right. Let's see if we can find him.
Yeah.
We're hunting here at Southwind, and we have Scott Griffin, Senior and Junior, and his wife, Mary Ann, here hunting with us this weekend. And we're having a good time. Good. This is Scott's first buck kill, and I am so proud to be a part of it. And I think we've got some more hunting to do. I think Miss Mary Ann's after a axis deer or a whitetail, and maybe Senior will get in on the action before they wound this hunt up this weekend.
This episode is brought to you in part by TC Outdoors, Tree Stand Buddy, and Broadstead Media.
We hunt more than we're at home.
Failure is not an option.
Who else has a patented formula?
Lethal products simply work.
We ain't just blowing smoke.
30 years of bow hunting has taught me that when it comes to gear, there's the best in everything else. Like these tiny LEDs, these powerful sticks help me to track arrow flight, identify shot placement, recover the arrow, and find the animal.
Yes, look at this.
They're igniter lighted Nox from New Fletch, and I use them because they're the best, the brightest, most reliable, and they make me a better bow hunter. Light up your bow hunt with New Fletch igniter lighted Nox, the best lighted Nox, period.
Kyle Lott here with Smag TV, and bow season is right around the corner, and we're practicing, getting ready, and we love to practice with our igniter lighted Nox in our arrows. We like to simulate what it's going to be for deer season. We love these lighted Nox. They are durable, reliable, they never let us down. And if you want some of these igniter Nox, go to New Fletch or igniterlightednox.com. Order yours, use promo code SMACKED for $10 off, and get you a pack of these lighted Nox for $14.99.
Man, what a great hunt by Scott Jr. And now it's Mary Ann's turn, and she wants to go back to that same spot. We saw so much action there yesterday that's where she wants to go, but she's not after a whitetail. She's wanting to hunt an axis, and as you remember on last week's episode, these axis, man, they're just so hard to come by. So we're gonna sit here and see what happens. Maybe it'll be an axis hunt. Maybe like last week, it'll turn into another hunt.
We've been sitting here since daylight this morning. Boy, we've seen numerous bucks come out, plenty of does. We were waiting on an axis buck, but he never showed up. So we're just going to take a break for right now and maybe go look for something a little bit later.
So this is one of the things we have to deal with when dealing with a hunting preserve. We have to keep the fences all taken care of, keep coyotes out. Coyotes kill the fawns, and then ultimately we have to deal with bucks fighting, and we lose several bucks every year just from them fighting, killing each other. And then every once in a while you find one like this right here where we don't know what happened. We could have been fighting. He could have been hurt himself somehow, but this is a 1 year buck, and this would have been a massive buck. Next year, the next 2 or 3 years, he'd have been a massive trophy buck. And so this is disheartening, because this is a fantastic buck that was going to be a big buck, and either he got hit by another buck in pre-rut or anything we could know. But this is something we have to deal with, and it's disheartening, but this is part of the deal of the business. And so you're always watching your fences, you're always watching the birds, you know, and if you see a bird, it makes us worry, because you never know whether a coyote's gotten in here or they fought and hurt each other, and so here we are, and this is what we have to deal with, and hopefully we can keep up with the pace and watch out for the bucks and make sure they don't get hurt too much.
All right, so Mary Ann's been hunting a few days now, and these axes just aren't showing up. Like I said before, man, these are the toughest animals that we have to harvest, because you can't pattern them. It could be on one side today and another side tomorrow, and it's just, you never know where they're gonna be. So now the issue could be that she's sitting with Preacher. What's Preacher gonna make her do? You know, Preacher likes to kill things, so he's probably gonna talk her into shooting in the first big whitetail that steps in this field.
Hey, Bobby, there's another one. There's 2 of them. Holy cow.
Oh, that was nice.
The second one. Get that second one, Scott. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's about 125, 135 class buck.
You said come down about an inch, right?
Yeah, but hang on a second. Let me see what he's going to do. Okay, one more time. He's going to turn in just a second. Be patient.
I can only shake for so long.
I know. He's fixing to turn. Is that good enough? All right. Here he goes. Ready?
Yeah, ready. Did you see him?
Yeah, you jumped. You got him. But I don't know where you hit him at.
You can go up.
Should have dropped him right there. Just drop him. Just going right there.
Yeah, he's still. Oh.
He's
going down. He just went down. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I could only shake for so long. I was like, come on now. This thing does kick, but not that bad.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yes.
Awesome job. What do you think, Bubby?
Bubby, what you think? He said.
It's a good deer.
This episode is brought to you in part by Igniter Lighted Nocks, New Fletch Archery, and Seymour Peeps.
So why does Whitetail Edge use Black Widow deer lures? It's 100% pure whitetail deer urines. It's never brown or broken down. Black Widow deer lures are always fresh, collected and bottled within 24 hours of collection to guarantee freshness. So why should you use Black Widow deer lures? Because it works. Visit www.blackwidowdeerlures.com.
We're Kyle and Jared Lott of Smack TV.
Each week we go into millions of homes to show you great hunting.
And we couldn't do what we do without TC Outdoors doing what they do.
It doesn't matter if your adventure takes you fishing in the local pond or on a cross-country hunt.
TC Outdoors is going to be there for you with gear, know-how, and support, just like they are for us.
They've been here for years. We know them.
And we trust them.
So come by TC Outdoors on Northside Drive. Tell them Jared and Kyle sent you. If you're looking for a gravity feeder that you won't have to replace year in and year out, look no farther than the Lew Gravity Feeder. We've had ours in the woods for the past 6 years, and they're still almost like they were brand new. It's got a twist top where you can put your feet in, lock it down. If you have hogs, no problem with the way that they're custom strapped to the tree. It's durable. It's lasted us longer than any gravity feeder that we have ever used. So check out Lew Gravity Feeders. So yesterday, Mary Ann shot this buck, and you know that when Preacher's hunting with somebody, something's always got to go down. He's sitting here, he's filming, and when she makes the shot, it's a perfect shot. You can see it on the replay. She 10 rings this buck, and they're high-fiving, they look around, and they're like, ah, we see the buck go down. Well, that wasn't the buck that they shot. It was one of the other bucks that was in the field, and they didn't actually see it go down. They just saw it run into the woods where they couldn't see it no more. So we looked and looked for this deer last night, and we couldn't find it. But we got back and reviewing the footage and was like, man, that might not be the same deer. So they found the deer. It was within 70 yards of where she shot it, just in the wrong spot. So lesson of the day, don't listen to Preacher. Just look for the deer where you think it needs to be.
So last night we were sitting in a blind and we had about 40 deer walk out and had a choice between 4 bucks, and this was the one I chose. I shot it, it ran, it didn't make it, well, we couldn't find it. We had to go back out and find it this morning. Found it, not in the spot we thought it was at, but we found it. Anyway, I have my first buck now.
Marianne, what a great shot on such an awesome buck down here at Southwind Hunting Adventures. But on to another note, I said last week, if you'll stay tuned, you'll see if I get to harvest my big 8-point that I've been hunting for the past few weeks. So here we go, back in the stand. It's been raining all night long. It's terrible, terrible, terrible weather. Let's see what happens.
All right, so we're back in the ladder lock on that we hung 2 days ago. We've been corning it, putting out some Khmer deer. It flooded all night. It is January 1st, 2018, and it has been flooding all night long, so we're hoping this is gonna be a good set this morning, because the deer probably didn't make their way all the way to the field last night because it's been raining. So hopefully this Khmer deer draw them in this morning. We're gonna see what happens.
All right, so it's raining, and we're doing everything possible to be able to keep this camera dry. And Kyle taps me on the side of the shoulder and says, big buck, big buck, big buck. Man, I hate to leave y'all hanging, but as you can tell, we are out of time once again. But I'm at full draw. This buck's standing here. Looks like I'm fixing to run a swacker right through the boiler room. Y'all come back next week and you'll see what happens. I'm Jared Lott. You've been watching Southwind Hunting Adventures.
To book your hunt at Southwind Hunting Adventures, go to southwindwhitetails.net and also follow us on Facebook at Southwind Hunting Adventures.